Welcome friends to a great game between Son of the Mountains Grombrindal as Grand Cathay going up against the Khorne forces of Chaos on the Crossing of the Sea Claws. So for the Khorne forces, starting on the flanks, 2 units of the Chaos Warhounds with that very good mobility, backed up for the main infantry front line with the double spawn of Khorne. So for the hero core, we are going to have the double cultists on horseback, both having the Gate of Khorne and the icon of the Endless War. For the Lord choice, we are going to be having the Herald of Khorne here on his motorbike, with the Revel in Slaughter, Totem of the Endless Bloodletting, Gore Feast, Hellblade, and also the Locus of Wrath. So a very interesting build indeed, and for the forces here of Grand Cathay, 2 units of the Jade Warriors. In the middle here, some Jade Warrior Halberds for a bit of anti-large and armor piercing, but for the main pocket, we are going to have the double Celestial Guard crossbowmen. So these bad boys, 160 range, 34 armor piercing missile strength, but also 95 armor. So heavily armored, lots of armor piercing, super strong indeed. And for the front line, 3 units of the Celestial Dragon Guard, which is going to be our focus today. These bad boys got some amazing shine on them. That's incredible. But they are going to have lots of armor, anti-large armor piercing, bonus of 20 there for the anti-large, which is going to be very strong indeed. So both forces coming together. I think a bit of a mistake here early doors coming out of the Grand Cathay player. We can see they're going to be funneling quite a lot of the units just into one spot. And we do see here the Cultist of Khorne charges forward quite nicely into the pocket. And then we'll see here we get a summon coming through on top. And that is going to put some great pressure here on the double crossbows. And that's 1.1k there getting compromised just by a summoned unit. Which is about 200 gold value. Of course, it only costs 200 gold value, but you do have to bring in the Cultists of Khorne. We do actually have the Wrath coming through here, which you're going to get that plus 40 melee attack, but they're going to be on the back. We also have the Herald of Khorne compromising the Celestial Dragon crossbowmen, and that's going to be, a lot of value there going down just for one very small mistake. In the back though, looks like we are going to get a little bit of a resurgence. We do push off the Chaos Warhounds. Nice there from the Jade Lancers. They do have 100 armor, only 48 charge bonus. They're not really shock cavalry. They're kind of like, think about these guys as Empire Knights. They're okay. They're a bit of a roadblock that really do prevent. Now we are going to have the Spawn of Khorne fighting up against the Celestial Dragon Guard. This is going to be the Lord choice here for Grombrindal. Now within this force, one little model is going to be the Lord, and if he falls, that is the Lord gone here. For the Cathay forces. So he's going to be fighting in the middle. And as we speak about it, there he goes. The Lord embraces death. And he's going to be falling here on the battlefield to some Spawn of Khorne. And that's going to be it. Negative 16 leadership. Now faction-wide here for Grand Cathay. On the top, Celestial Dragon Guard are going to be firing in here up against the Summon of the Bloodletters. We do actually get a Terracotta Sentinel coming in. So a bit of a bad start here coming out from Grand Cathay, and Khorne, they're going to be piling forward a unit of the Gorby's Chariot summoned here into the middle pocket, backed up by some Flesh Hounds. So they're going to be moving through, doing all the good damage, just keeping and piling on the pressure here in the middle. However, this is a lot of anti-large and armor piercing to punch through here. Jade Warriors backed up by the double Celestial Dragon Guard, really going to do some lovely work in the front. So the Cultist, he's getting very weak. He only has 40 melee defense, he has some great melee attack, but he will fall here to Halberds in sustained combat. In the middle, we do have to spawn 16 models still. Looks like the spawn here going to be 7 from the original, and Flesh Hounds could be moving here towards point 3. Point 2 getting captured here for Khorne. Point 1 is going to be open, and point 3 as well. But mobility is certainly going to favour the Khorne forces. They have Warhounds here with 95 speed. It's going to be very hard to reach that without peasants. So, looks like here we are going to get the intended Lord choice, which is going to be the Dragon-Blooded Lord of Yin, here with Arcane Conduit, and only the Ancestral Warrior Summon. So, very interesting. That's going to be the Ethereal units here of the Jade Halberds. In the sky, we do have some Chaos Series pushing the back spawn up against the Celestial Dragon crossbows, and it's like we have some more coming over as well. Now, what we really want to do is get over here with the Terracotta and push into either point 1 or force a movement here to point 2. But it looks like point 1 is going to be the available space to push. Now, what can he do here up against the Chaos Furies? Not much, really. He does some okay splash damage, but he will kind of be wasting his time here a little bit. He wants to be getting forward, putting some pressure here on the Lord choice. And yes, he can remove some of the Chaos Furies, but we can summon other units here. We are on the spawn point, get some infantry in, and really help here up against the Celestial Dragon. in the middle, still fighting here in this blob, and this is the problem. It was very easy for the Khorne player just to trap them in this moment. Now we do see the Gorbies have taken a lot of punch indeed. We are going to get a summon here of the Ancestral Warriors, and they could rare charge up against the Gorbeasts. So we do have actually quite a bit of magic in the Khorne roster, even starting here with the Fleshhounds. Now luckily we do have Chaos Warhounds, the Khorne dogs coming, because magic damage will rip apart the Ancestral Warriors. They have no armor but 75% physical resistance. So I really want to get some Furies, maybe some Fleshhounds, maybe some of these lovely Bloodletters to get on and do the good, gorgeous damage. But it looks like here the Lord Choice is going to be taking point 1. Ticket advantage coming here for Khorne. They're also going to be grabbing point 3 over here on the right. We have some Peasant Longspears coming across. They should do okay. They aren't going to be bonus first large. They will do some nice work up against the Spawn and the Hounds. We are going to charge over here with the Lord Choice as well. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of performance we can get over there on the left-hand side. So Celestial Dragon Guard are going to be moving forward. We do take down the Chaos Warhounds, and now we can move on to the point. This is a lot of armor and a lot of infantry units to push on and prevent here from Khorne. In the sky, we are going to be shooting up against the Chaos Furies. So we do have a summon of the Jade Warrior crossbows. The shielded variety. Shield's probably not needed against Khorne, as there's going to be no missiles incoming. You pay pretty much 100 gold there for bronze shields. In the back, the Celestial Dragon crossbows and a few units going to be a bit idle here in the back, so I need to get those going forward pretty quickly, but we are going to be capturing point 2. In the middle here, we do see a summon of the Ancestral Warriors fighting here up against the Khorne dogs. Fleshhound's going to be going quite nice in magic damage, but they do count as large unit size, so the Ancestral Warriors will fight back also with magic damage to circumvent that physical resistance. So a nice summon there that could really do some nice counter, and we are going to be capturing as the Peasant Long Spear. So they are going to now meet and brace, and they're going to fight here up against the Warhounds. They should be doing some nice work. The physical resistance is going to be nice, but yeah, Long Spears certainly do perform extremely well here, especially above their pay cost. So in the middle fight, we are going to have the Chaos Warrior Halberds charging forwards up against the Jade Warriors. Very nice here to have Khorne Halberds. 100 armor can be really tough for the forces of Grand Cathay to push forward and do all the damage. I really love when you get these green, like ethereal shields coming over the head of the Jade Warrior Halberds. It looks so goddamn cool. But moving forward here with the Celestial Dragon Guard, they'll do some nice work here up against the Khorne infantry. Terracotta here is going to be moving around the battlefield. Looks like point 2 has been well and truly taken here by the forces of Grand Cathay. We do actually have some Jade Warrior crossbows getting held here by the Jade Lancers. I believe there might have been a push in the back here by the Fleshhounds, but now it looks like they charge up against the Celestial Dragon Guard. So it looks like the Lord Choice is going to be cycling away here on his motorbike away from the Terracotta Sentinel. He's going to be in hot pursuit. 48 speeds, not too bad there for an SEM. He might be able to catch the held here for sure. Point 3 captured by Grombrindle. Moving in here with the Fleshhounds. It's going to be 1.7k here up against 400 from the Son of the Mountains legend. And we have just more and more and more dogs pushing through and just ripping apart these Peasant Long Spears. I don't know if there's going to be enough here to hold this point. We can see one breaking. The second is going to be holding, but these Khorne dogs are going to be capturing the points. Coming over is going to be the Herald of Khorne, and so here we have some Peasant Long Spears backed up by the Terracotta. That could be enough to force point 3 here for a permanent capture for Grand Cathay. Over on point 1, we have Peasant Long Spears backed up by Jade Warriors and some weak Celestial Dragon crossbows. Now, the pointy spears could go fight here up against the Fleshhounds. Fleshhounds taking this engagement is a bit strange. You could see them come up and around and start compromising the Celestial Dragon crossbows. But as I care, they are going to get away. They are going to struggle here with a bit of line of sight, and they might be fighting here in combat. Let's just see what they're going to do here. So they are going to line down sight, but it looks like here we do have a Fleshhound in the back, getting on top of these Dragon Guard. In the middle, very well secured indeed. We are going to see Halberd still trying to hack here at the Celestial Dragon Guard. And point 3 looks like it is going to be in the favour of the Khorne forces. Fleshhounds diving away. We do see the Terracotta Sentinel coming. We could really do against some Halberds over here to point 3 on this side of the battlefield. But it looks like, unfortunately, we are going to be giving it up to the Sentinel. Charging away with the Fleshhounds, we could charge into the middle at point 2 and try and see if we can get it away here. But Jade Warrior Halberds are going to be meeting the forces of Khorne. They are going to be charging in to try and see if they can overcome these Jade Warriors and get into the back here up against the Crossbowmen. Summoned here on the left-hand side, some more Celestial Dragons have been summoned to the battlefield. 1.1k of pure armor-piercing rage as they'll be firing here into the spawn of Khorne, maybe into some Khorne dogs as well. And it looks like we're actually going to give up the capture here on point 3. We do actually have some Peasant long spears nice and close. But the Terracotta Sentinel, I really love having him on a point. I really like having him, say, on point 2 or point 1, and just standing there and forcing my opponent to bring halberds, bring on these units, and then you can have like nice air effect spells to do damage up against all these slow Khornite infantry. Celestial Dragon Guard going to mix into the middle. Very low is going to be the Herald of Khorne, down to 1,800 HP. We do see here, destabilizing is going to be the Flesh Hounds, fighting up against some Jade Warriors. That's a lot of armor to punch through there with the 90. We're also going to be having Jade Warriors and the Ancestral Warriors here in the front. They are so goddamn cool. I absolutely love them. In the middle, going very hard. It's going to be 65 kills as well as 101 here for the Dragon Guard. They're going to be fighting extremely hard in the front line. And over here on point 1, looks like we have some brave Peasant long spearmen fighting up against the Khorne dogs. They are going to be just about holding, but it looks like here mostly the Khorne dogs are going to be pushing them back, and that could be a recapture here on point 1. Moving forward, Peasant long spears backed up by some Jade Warrior halberds might be enough here to put the pressure on the Khorne dogs and get them there off point 1. But for point 2, it looks pretty substantial. It is going to be in the forces and the favour of Grand Cathay. Point 3 has been yet again captured by Cathay. We are going to be moving over here with broken forces of the Chaos Warhounds. These are the units you just want to take off the battlefield, get the remainder of that cost back there in your pool, and allow these to regenerate a little bit faster so we can get them back to the battlefield as quickly as possible. Over here on the right hand side, it's looking pretty bleak for Khorne. This is something I wanted to touch on. We get a nice macro view of the battlefield. When Khorne do go behind, when they don't have those tanky units on the battlefield, and you can see you've just got broken dogs dotted around, a Fast Lord, and some Chaos Furies, it really starts to fall behind. When Khorne get behind, it's almost impossible to get into the game again. 2,900 against 2.7k, and there's going to be stable infantry here for the Khorne forces, with crossbows over the top, giving them support, with Terracotta Sentinel here on point 3, and it's just going to be really hard. What the Khorne forces need to do is stack up their resources. Just summoning Chaos Furies is not going to give you the battlefield kind of presence you need here. They're very quick, they're very fast, you can really challenge on the battlefield, but you're not going to be able to hold this point for very long. You are going to get the Khornite forces plus the Herald of Khorne to capture it, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units on the way to recapture it. There's no way you're going to be able to hold it. You can rotate, but then of course the forces here of Grand Cathay can just rotate. They're going to be out damaging, they have more units on the battlefield, and it's going to be very hard to take down. You need to get your forces together, summon quite a few units of infantry, some stable elements that can really pin up one of the weaker sides. So for example, here we do have the Terracotta Sentinel. So come in here with some Khornite halberds, backed up here by maybe some spawn of Khorne that could really rip apart the cheap infantry of the Peasant long spearmen and get onto that point and really capture it with some bonuses there and some buffs from your Lord choice. Over on the left-hand side, Flesh Hounds are going to be returning, but what sort of damage do we expect here up against the Terracotta Sentinel? We haven't really brought anything to this side of the battlefield that can damage it. Now, what you can do is just ignore the Terracotta Sentinel, get enough units on the force, or on the point, sorry, and then try and capture it if at all possible. However, for the most part, this is going to be all she wrote. We do see here that the Herald of Khorne is going to be fighting in combat. It's going to be pretty damn low here at 790. Flesh Hounds are going to fall, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very quick pull-out here from the Khorne. So you can see here, yeah, pretty dominant stuff coming in from Grombrindle. Bit of a mess from the beginning, but he gets in, he really dominates, and has those stable units on the front. Yeah, so really well played to Grombrindle. He played very nicely indeed. We're going to see 1,250 there for the Dragon Guard, with 3,050 as well as 1,500. Just showing where these units really can perform. So excellent stuff here from the Celestial Dragon Guard. 1,530 there from the Dragon Crossbowmen. That's going to be a double summon as well from these Dragon Crossbows. So you can see there, getting compromised in the beginning was a big downward step, with a bit of an unfortunate chokehold push. You're going to see 1,300 from the Jade Warriors. Very nice performance. 340 and 480. For the reinforcements, 570 with 1,075 there for the Terracotta Sentinel. Still super healthy. And yeah, they're just super tough to take off here. You need halberds and you need good pressure. 990, 380 there for the Jade Lancers. And looks like here 450 from the Jade Warriors. 650 there from the Jade Warrior crossbows, with 137 there for the regular, with 0 and 0. 615, 1080, 340, and 130 there for the Peasant Long Spears. Yeah, very, very strong here, Peasant Long Spears. Do not underrate them. So we are going to have Herald of Khorne here, 911, backed up by 430 and 460 there for the Cultists with some really nice summons. 802, 715 there for the Spawn of Khorne. Of course, these cost 1,000 gold, so you know, expecting a little bit more of a performance from them. But you have mass crossbows, peasant archers, and all of these kind of things are really going to take down Spawn of Khorne quite quickly. The Peasant Long Spears, they have anti-large, they don't need armor piercing because they only come with 10 armor, so they can get ripped down pretty quickly. So I think Spawn of Khorne probably aren't the best to start with. 570, 208 there for the Chaos Warhounds, with 703 there for the Gore Beast. Gore Beast was an interesting one. We saw a lot of heavily armored anti-large targets on the battlefield here. We saw a lot of Celestial Dragon Guard. They kind of just got pulled down. So I think this was a bit of an interesting one. We had a lot of the Khorne spawn here in the back, and only one unit of the heavily armored infantry. I do wonder here if maybe going with more of the Chaos Warrior dual weapons might have been a bit better. Coming in with some more Khorne halberds here to deal with Terracotta Sentinels, perhaps would have been more prudent here for the Khorne player. So 1,400, 630, 512 for the Fleshhounds with 270. Now these are great units to get in the back and harass one of those crossbows, prevent units from getting to the front line and just giving you added mobility. But you need to have stability on the battlefield to get the maximum proficiency out of these units. And they're not going to be the units you want on the point capturing. They're the units you're going to want beyond the point, pressuring all those other elements that can prevent you from capping. 560 there for the Chaos Furies, 260, 0 and 0, with 95 there for the Chaos Warhounds. So what a great game here, and a great example of how just a good standard heavy armored troops from the Celestial Dragon Guard can get on, do the good work, and can really prevent a fast Khorne force from overwhelming in a pretty bad matchup here for the Grand Cathay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please smash that like button, drop a comment down below. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions, and if you haven't already, do feel free to subscribe. It really does mean quite a lot. If you haven't already checked out, do check out that description. You can see all my other social media platforms, including Twitch and Discord. And other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourself during these times, and I'll see you all very, very soon.